Hello, hello, hello. Are we live again, YouTube? Brill. Alright. Let's get this started. Hope everyone's doing well today, whatever you're up to. Trying to fix just posting this. Shaders part 2. We're basically doing the same thing as we did yesterday. I have worked on this for like 3 hours, but it's not solved itself. I've been trying to convert. I swear I don't have that many friends. It's just a lot of people. I've had to handle a lot of different servers. Right. Okay. Shared. We are live. We are currently crashing. So I'm currently scouring the graphics programming Discord server, which has a good amount of resources for what we are doing. And yeah, hello, how you doing, dude? Good to see you back. Kalia. Sorry, I really am terrible with reading names. So we are tackling this bug that we have. This is for a bineless texture. It is causing a crash in Vulkan. So I'm converting my shaders to slang. Oh, how did my interview go? It went okay. Thanks for asking, by the way. I feel like I got to the second round. I think it depends. So it went alright. The only thing I forgot, I just couldn't get my webcam working in time. I cut it a bit too close, honestly. I kind of went a few, and I think that really hurt me because they couldn't see what I look like, and they were a bit nervous about that. So, but overall, I think I articulated myself pretty well, and I think I got on with people in the interview. What job did you apply? It's some graphics programming thing. So yeah, that's I've got 6 more rounds to go through if I potentially get that position. So that was round 1 of 7, if you include that as a round. But that's just the so we'll see how that goes. Thanks for asking as well. Yeah, so some kind of so I do want to get a job that applies these types of skills. Yeah, getting a job is hard nowadays, 100%. I feel like a lot of people have been fired. There's a lot of things happening all at once that are causing like the job market to generally be quite difficult to navigate. And I honestly sympathize for anyone who's trying to look for a job, and empathize too, I guess, because I'm also experiencing that. So but for now we're just trying to get good. We're trying to get better at programming. Just aside, I got someone asked me to apply for on LinkedIn a job that was for a stock trading thing, and it was quite a lot of money. But I would have to move to London, and I had to question, why am I programming in the first place? And I decided to, search inside myself a little bit and think, like, what am I even doing here? Am I doing this just for money? And at the end of the day, the only thing I really care about is getting good at programming. Getting as good as possible. So yeah, let's dive into this, guys, and see if we can get as good as possible. Yeah, it's tough, man. I really hope you get a position. Just keep working at it. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. I'm making a little game engine. What slang am I using right now? I am using the one that comes with... it's like a little space game. I would show you, but the engine is currently crashing, so Yeah, BMQWW. I will show you, honestly, when it comes to when we get this working. So Ratchet is a what slang version. So let me yeah, let's establish some ground bases. So like I said, we're debugging this issue today. Well, no one actually has to join in. You know, you can just chill. No one has to. You can just code along with me. So this is the error, and it's due to the fact that I'm calling a bindless array of textures, which doesn't like what's going on here. Yeah, game engine from scratch. Wish I would get a job. It feels a bit loud. Hang on, let me turn on. I'm like shouting over the music. Right. Okay. So hopefully that's not. Hopefully that balances the audio a bit better. There's a lot of reasons to make a game engine. Why you recreate the wheel? It is a good question though, because I have to ask myself that. And right. There's a lot of different reasons. One, I don't really know how to use a game engine. I started coding in 2010, and I really started to try and make games in 2011-ish. And ever since then, I wasn't consistent, but I never really picked up game engines. I just decided to just develop stuff, you know, as I went. And yeah, now I just enjoy the process of making my own software, being as good as I possibly can. It's a personal journey as well as like a way to make, because I'm not just here to make money. You know, I want to be as good as I can as a programmer, and I feel like a good way to go about that is programming game engines, because it's so performance intensive and difficult to do. So yeah, anyway, this is the so there's a couple of reasons. Hopefully that answers them. GL slang C version? Oh, no, just slang. So that's the version I'm on. I don't know what the newest version is. 2000 and... I don't know what that means. Well, obviously 2026 January, and then something. Obviously this is a binary blob of data that's been hashed. Yeah, we're all on Windows 10. Except we're all on Windows 10. That and Linux. Yeah, well, it's literally just my motherboard, which doesn't allow me to upgrade. But anyway, let's dive in. So, like I said, we're going to be diving through Discord channels and stuff. So I said this earlier, if people weren't here, I'm kind of investigating like what I need to do for this dynamic resource. It's the first time I've ever done this, so maybe it's a good idea to try and investigate what I should be doing. In the sense that I think I also should simplify everything down. So all I want it to do is compile. And I think I asked the question on this as well. So yeah, someone just said, you know, this, make sure it's declared correctly. Could be a slang bug. So yeah, it's a bit odd. There is no, and Ratchet has sent something in the in Discord, which I'm gonna be referring to as well. So we have sampled images. We have storage images, and then we have a sampler. This is the thing I don't quite understand. What is the difference between a sampler and a sampled image? I saw this earlier as well. I actually found this on a... And why is it double underscore? To me, double underscore means it's implement... Like, you shouldn't be using it. Because it's a resource type that shouldn't exist, that you shouldn't have access to. That's just a side question. It's a bit of a bike shed thing. But yeah, it is a bit... I'm trying to understand this a bit better so I actually get it down. So I don't really understand the difference between the two. So let's look up some documentation, I think. Samplers and images are... okay, mate. Okay. You make... I will check on you later. Yeah, thanks. Samplers and images are different types of descriptors. Yes. Obviously, we can have combined image samplers, but I'm not exactly sure what is what. In this particular case of the shader, I don't really know what the difference is between converting between a sampler, right? So, you know, we did this earlier, like where we have a global, we have a general. We try and convert between this, whatever. In fact, let's just see if I can get rid of this completely. Right, obviously this is not good because this kind of defeats the point of bindless textures. But I'm kind of like... Alright, let's just like go as simple as possible. Obviously this is using some kind of C++ template parser. Which, yeah. So 2, and then we just need some UV coordinates here. Is equal to float 2, 1, oops, not F, 0. So we're not even using this import thing anymore. We're gonna get rid of this. Everything's just, we're just going to get rid of everything down and just kind of try and get something to work, basically. I ask. I'm sorry, why am I saying? I said my own name. Hi, D2 Codes. Yes. Texture 2D, yes. So sampler 2D is combined. Texture is just the texture, so that's just the image. Yeah, I would. Yeah, if anyone wants to help, that's fine. I'm having a problem with a bug here. I can even post this in the chat. If people want to... This is just, again, completely optional. No one has to help at all. Let me bring up the chat, and I'll post this in so you can copy it out. Oh, okay. It's way too big. Surprised I couldn't do this. Let me post it in the Discord then. So I'll post this in the Discord so people can see it. So that's the error I'm having. And it's to do with this line here. In slang, anyway. So I'm trying to do a... Let me just go back a bit. So I can always press Control Y to get back to where I was. But this is just for the people who want to help. This here. That's the actual issue. Yeah, I can't, like I said, I can't post this. If you if you do want to join the Discord as well, let me know if you're not already in it. Here it is. That's the actual issue. That's the line in this shader, and this entire shader I think I posted earlier. Let me just post that as well, just so everyone's on the same page. No, I want to not post this as a... Right, I might delete this after the stream so people don't go, what the heck is going on here? You know, if they join for the first time, but I'll just put this here for now. Yes, that's what I wanted to upload as a file. And I'll post that there so anyone can have a look. So that's what we're dealing with. If people want to look, that's the entire situation at the moment. So it's something to do with a slang error when it comes to bindless textures. We are looking at this type of stuff, like using dynamic kind in general and stuff like that. So this error is coming out of Vulkan as well. This isn't coming out of the compiler. So it's not like I can't compile the shaders. I can completely compile the shaders. But when I try to load them in to make shader modules in Vulkan, we get this error. So I think I've hopefully filled everyone in who wants to help. You want to see... You want to see how I'm compiling the shaders? No, yeah, no problem. Yep, I can do that too. Yep. Just to give everyone who wants to help as much information as possible. Yes. Where is it? Shaders. It's here. So fortunately... Oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I say I'm not entirely sure if I should have this in or not. But yeah, I'll leave that out for now, actually. I will make 2. I will do this because I'm not... I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to slang, so I'm going to say, you know, take your pick. But for now, this is a commented out one, so let me... I'll throw this into the Discord as well. And you can, at your own pleasure, look at everything. And I'll throw this in some code blocks. But again, I'll probably delete all this after the stream. Like I said, do we have bash in here? Bash. All right. Cool. There you go. So, we do spiv. We take the slang file. We spit out the slang sprv with the scalar block layout. And this maybe, I don't know if I need bindless space index or something. Anyway. So let me get my bearings and I'll catch up with everyone. Right, so what do I want to do? Yeah, I'm just, because I've been talking so much, I kind of forgot what I was supposed to be doing. But I think it was worth it because, you know, you guys have more information. Oh yeah, that was it. I was taking the shader, which I'm just editing in Notepad++ for now, and yeah, we're just gonna make it as simple as possible for now. We're just gonna try and index into this. Let's comment this out and move it. Actually, does Control D work? Yes, thank you. So what I'm going to do is, just to simplify the problem, is just remove as many variables, move as many moving pieces as possible. So I'm just going to restore back float to uv equals float to 1.0, 0.0. Obviously this will look terrible, but I'm just trying to make something that kind of works. Get rid of this as well. Wrong way around, sorry. In fact, I can delete this because I've got the line up here commented out. So, question is, can I even access this data, and is the same error happening? So that's my first take, and then I'll read the chat. So you may have already solved it. I apologize if I'm going to be a bit slow, okay, for everyone. I'm not entirely sure if I need this. Let's get rid of that. Don't think I saved. I kind of just added it in because it said bindless. I was like, do I need that? All right, so it's okay. Someone started drilling as well, so hopefully that's not coming through. If it is, I apologize. There's not much I can do about that. Okay, so okay, we bring these two. We have slang, and I'm literally just going to say, just check the top path. Move that to the 100% replaced. Let's see what that does, and I'll read everything, okay? No, same. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Adam has said, in Vulkan, explicit layout decorations refer to the sprv requirements for variables and structured members to have precisely defined memory layouts when used in shader interfaces, like uniform or storage buffers. This ensures that the CPU and the GPU agree there are data location, where the data is located in memory. sprv decorations, these typically manifest as offsets, array stride, matrix stride, And decorations in the compiled SPRV. Hi YipTag, I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so explicit declaration layout. Where is my sampler 2D defined? I'll read the rest. Does binding use 0 as a default? It uses 1. Uses number 1. So in my shader for sorry, that's wrong. It's set 1, binding 0. Because there is another descriptor set that uses set 0. Oh yeah, I forgot I added this song. I was like, what the heck's this? Right, I need to look at the shader. So let's look at the shaders together, gang. And I'll talk through what I think I understand Adam to have said. So my understanding of the explicit layout declaration kind of thing is this. This is the bit I was a bit confused about. I thought it was to do, it's either this, the variable's being passed in as like an input output, but I don't think that's right. It could be to do with this. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, to be honest. I did read the shader interface thing, but I'm like, okay, we're passing it over to the next shader stage. I'm not even trying to pass anything over to the next shader stage though, you know? Right here at least, when I'm trying to access this global texture. Yes, we have 2 different mains or whatever, and it's in both shaders, but like, I don't know exactly what it wants me to do. These are identical in both shader. Right, I know in slang it's like, it's all compiled into one, and we have a different VK model, VK shader model objects, or whatever they're called. Basically the things I'm trying to compile the shaders into. So we have a vertex one and we have a fragment one, right? My question really is just like, what is it talking about, basically? I don't understand what we're trying to pass from one to another that's causing this kind of issue. And I was trying to follow this example. And it just sits there completely chill, you know? It is kind of confusing. This is, I believe, to do with the vertex buffer, which we don't have. Like, how is this just able to sit there with the sampler and then just kind of index into it completely chill? Whereas what you have to do this kind of nastiness. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest, but we're going to keep digging, so... yeah, that's hopefully that's what I'm confused about. Let me scroll up again just to catch everything. Binus textures is simple already. Lol, I barely heard. Okay, yep. So yeah, I put them. Hopefully that answers the question about where the samplers are defined. They're kind of just like this generic template C++ism. And then we convert, because apparently that's what we did in, that's what people have been doing in the graphics programming shader. Ratchet's already had a stab at this and just said, you know, this is like what people are doing. I mean, maybe my binding is completely wrong, but I read this on the documentation that, you know, you use both. And I thought it was set, this is the set, the second variable, and this is the binding. If you want to alias 2D and etc. Oh, you need to have dynamic resources for that, like I did in the GLSO. Okay. Okay, let me. Adam said a bunch of stuff. Sampler 2D is not even defined anywhere. Lol. In. Oh, this. This, I think, is just part of the slang. Broken implementation is fixed faster if you quickly rewrite something with... Sure. I mean, that's it seems funny, but this was like, we rewrote everything in slang to try and fix a different issue, so... Okay, give me a second. What else has anyone said? If you want to... Okay, we already read that. Alias. Right, calls. You're just casting... Yeah. I'm just doing some casting, it looks like. As opaque description. Descriptor, sorry. By the way, we're all graphics devs, apparently, lol. Also, escape point. I have no SPRV validation errors with this exact shader. Yes, I don't either. That's the problem. This is not causing an error. This is causing an error inside Vulkan. So when I do... Unfortunately, there's a lot of layers of abstraction here, but we add the shader types twice for both vertex and fragment. I mean, maybe this is it. Maybe I should split them up, because it is something to do with like shader interfaces. But I couldn't. No, I got this error. Sorry, I apologize. I had this error originally when I had the shaders split up, because I thought originally, yeah, scratch what I just said. It was to do with the fact that they couldn't see each other's input and output. So I didn't quite understand, you know, how the struct works. Again, a bit of a noob when it comes to slang, so I'm not entirely sure if, you know, splitting these up is good or bad or what, you know. Yes, is supposed to be value. So it's trying to evaluate the shader. Yep, everyone's trying to help. It's really cool. Sorry, gotcha. What's the new lib that combines them? I think it's this. Again, I was just following this example, which kind of just rolls everything together, and we can just have both shader. I keep forgetting what it's called. Shader. I should look it up. But it's the Vulkan shader objects or whatever. So yes, it is just to iterate the. As you can see, it's something to do with shader evaluation. Well, I think it's evaluation. I assume that's what val means. Or evaluation? No, I'm not actually sure what val means. So yeah, it's. I do have. I believe I have the scalar block guy, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm missing some kind of like. I see. I just don't understand how to parse this error. This is what we're dealing with at the moment. So, let's see. Oh, appreciate that, guys. Honestly, it's very kind of you. So yeah, let's dig into this. You know, I very appreciate everyone being nice to me and helping so much. No. Output from really? Oh, this is a program I can actually run. Oh. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. No output from Okay, this is really cool. I didn't. This is literally just another program. Let's do exactly what Ratchet did and output the output to a what is it called? A file. I forgot the word file. Okay, that's quite exciting. No, it won't do that, will I? Spival. Does this exist? Okay, it does. Great. It's doing something. So if I grab just like Ratchet has done, I believe he's probably just taken this, and let's shader source. That's fine. And we need the shader source itself, which is the SPRV version. Oh, I think I moved it instead of copied. Hang on. Yep. Okay. So let's grab the name and throw this into that command line argument. And if I keep reusing it, I will. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious, like what. Let's see what this does, right? Okay, it's the same error. UV standalone SPRV. Invalid layout declaration for operand. Blah blah blah. Uniform constant storage class has explicit layout from that. Right, how about we break this down into bits? Unless someone knows immediately what to do, I'm going to say, because I don't exactly know what this is. I think Adam said it earlier, but what I want to understand is like, it's like I kind of understand the formula. You know, in maths where you kind of understand like the formula or whatever, but you don't actually know like how everything works together. So let's like break down what things do. Hopefully that's okay. Can you delete the spiv file and rebuild? If you can get the error again, send me the oh, have you sent something? In relative to what? Oh, you want me to? Oh, you just want me to build from scratch. Oh, which is fine. Yep, and there we go. I'll send the error in the chat. And the command line that caused it, which you've already seen. So let me just make this a bit readable. Like something like this. Hopefully that's a bit readable. And if I take this to the compiler explorer, this shader itself, not this one. We have. Throw this in here. We have this, right? This uniform constants guy. I think it's this line here. It just does not like what's going on, I think. I don't think it's used anywhere else. I can share this as well, if people want it. What the heck's that? Yeah, I'll throw this in so anyone can look at it in the Discord again. Cool. This music's on display, Beat Mania. Yeah, it's I've never actually played this game, but I just love the guy who played Yuzu Koshiro. He's my favorite guy who makes music, honestly. The build SPRV file. Oh, you want that file? Okay, so Ratchet has asked for this guy, this exact file, so everything's like get to here. Yeah, again, I very much appreciate anyone who's willing to help. I would be doing other things, but I want to make sure that the chat, you know, everyone in chat is that wants to help has access to as many resources as possible, so they can actually do what they want to do. Okay, so that's why I'm not coding as much, just because I want to make sure that everyone's like ready and can access stuff. Oh, sorry, Yuzo Koshiro. I got it wrong. Let's, yeah, there it is. He made the Streets of Rage soundtrack. I'll post it in chat as well. So, whoops, get rid of this. Beep, beep, beep. There you go. You can copy and paste that out. Yuzo Koshiro. I call him Yuzu Koshiro all the time. Alright. Let's dig into this. No problem at all. And these are from the so I think these are arcade games. You're like driving around. It's really cool. Can imagine be pretty hyped to play this game with this music playing. Anyway, right. Okay, so what do I want to do? You played the new ones? Okay, nice. Yeah, the music's a bit different in the new ones. I like the new ones. I've got some of the newer soundtracks too. But I've never actually played the games. I just know the music. Anyway, so let's break this down a little bit more. So it looks like I'm just going to scroll up a bit because I feel like Ratchet got this to work completely fine. You're also learning from the streams. Brilliant. Yeah, Ratchet is a go, honestly, of this. He's yeah. But you're all, I appreciate everyone. Absolutely. Anyway, okay, I think I caught up with everything. So what do I want to do? I want to maybe try a different compiler. I want to know if Ratchet's got a different compiler to me. Yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try and download a different slang compiler. I think GitHub has... Because I've got the LunaG SDK version. So I wonder if... What do I have? I definitely don't have this version. Because I have 2026.1 something something something. Is that the version you have? Yes, I have that version too. That's exactly the same version. I remember it because GC. But yeah, that's the most up to date Vulkan version that the Luna SDK thingamajiggy. But I'm gonna try a newer one just to see, because I did see it. Someone had a bug that looks similar to this, but it in the actual compiler itself. But I don't think. Right. Okay. So let's get that. Let's just rule it out. Yeah, I'm doing some shaders. Welcome to the stream, guys. Anne Levant. Yep, Anne Levant. There we go. Why is our SPRV that different then? I don't know. That's the strange part. If I'll show the compiler again. So we're currently trying to debug a shader. No, that's not right. Slang. V. Slang C, sorry. But you can see it's like yeah, I'll post that in chat as well so everyone can compare. So this is the one I'm currently working with, but I'm going to upgrade to the new one. It's interesting that yours is very different. Let me post this in chat. So we're all kind of working on this together. I'm not a technical artist. No, I'm a game engine programmer, game dev, I guess. Yeah, welcome. So we're currently like struggling to try and get this to work within a Vulkan renderer. Presumably Ratchet and Escape Point speaking in the third person because the alternative is y'all have different GPUs and different manufacturers. That might be it. Not sure why not expect a SPRV. Check the Discord. Sure, yeah. So I do have a Discord. Yeah, I'll try yours on my computer. That's a really good idea. Yeah, again, I love that I'm getting all the support. Thank you guys. Again, it's completely optional. No one has to help at all. You can just chill. You're all valued members. If you're just here for vibes. I know that's what I'd be here for. You know, so I'm extremely grateful that people want to help. So, let's call this 2. Yes. So what I'm going to do is rename, Control AV, change this to 2, so it's the same, but very similar name. So this is the Ratchet version. I might actually, give me a second, to duplicate this line of code, and then just kind of save your version Ratchet as like as a commented, assuming that it doesn't work or does work or whatever. I just want to label it. So I don't forget, basically. I don't go, what? Okay. Let's compile. And let's see what happens. Do we get the same error? Okay, so we couldn't find the file, so that's probably my fault. Oh, duh, I just realized. Because this is a new compiler, I haven't actually got this to here. That's just me not copying it to the right place. Okay. Oh, okay. How does yours work? Okay, that's really confusing. So the background's gone pink because the data isn't being sent over to the fragment shader correctly. But yeah, I don't know. Ah, thank you for the sub. I very much appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day, my guy. Ratchet, can you do me a favor? If you're up for it, can you send me your source code as well? And then we can do a meld between the two. We can like do a diff. I don't think so. Because what I've been doing is I've been moving it. It is a good question, but I have been... let's move this version then. Right, so this is yours. We need to get back to baseline. If you could send me yours, Ratchet, we can like see... what's going on? I'm just laughing at the music. It's very different. See, look, as you can see, I did a copy again, and it's the timestamp between the two is identical. Sorry, wrong thing. Where is it gone? Oh no, I did a move. So this exists here. It is weird that you have a smaller version. You have yeah, I don't know what is going on here because the binary files are completely different sizes, and that's quite different. That's quite significant. 8 and 11. So that's your slang file. Compile arguments are here. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. You get hearts all the way up. Right, let's have a look. And let's compare. So I've messed around with my shader, so I'm not... It's going to be different. But, let's bring up meld. And in fact, let's get rid of some of the debug stuff that we've been doing. So I assume, Ratchet, that you are roughly around this stage. We'll get rid of this. I can't imagine that you've done much difference here. Okay, so this is a diffing tool, so we can see the difference between the text. And if we're using the same compiler, then the only difference should be the text. Anyway, so let's break into this meld. Okay. We have yours, which I always like to put the working one on the left side, and then mine, the broken one. And did I save? Let's just make sure I saved everything. So this is... Nope, wrong. Copy this into our path, and then we'll get our slang file and compare. So you're gonna is okay. So what ended up happening here? So my version has this in, yours doesn't. Okay. You have just removed some commented out code, and what is the difference here? Right, I'm gonna get to as close as I can to your code, Ratchet, and we'll just go from there, right? Did you forget? Sorry, I think I missed a Dietrich codes. Is it only in theory or historically that manufacturing matters? I know it's still separate. If you report capabilities in the DB, I assume that means database. With this, I'm not exactly sure what the SPRV validator is, but typically these programs are supposed to run independently because they are from my understanding, Vulkan itself needs the graphics driver to be up to date. But I believe the actual tools that we're using, like these compilers, are independent of like individual graphics version. These come with the Vulkan Standard Development Kit, the SDK. That's what that stands for. Yeah. So SPRV, is GPU agnostic. Yeah. So it's a good question. It's a challenge your assumptions. Hi, janitor, Cherry. Janitor Cherry, hopefully you're having a good day. So how did you learn C++ and Vulkan? Any tips for beginners? Persistence and consistency are the key ways to learn these things, honestly. Like, I'm struggling right now. You're going to see me struggle for a bit on this. We're working together with a bunch of people. That helps if you have a little community. If you do want to join a community that's interested in this stuff, you can join my Discord server, which I can link if you're interested. But yeah, it's consistency and persistence. So every day you need to be working. Well, in my opinion, to get good at this stuff, you need to be working a lot on this type of stuff. And right, I want to take your version. So whatever you've done here. So these are identical. I'm going to compile these. Yeah, that's how you do it. I would say work on C++ first, though. I would leave Vulkan for later. There is someone in this chat who is learning C++, and they are planning on moving to Vulkan later, and I think that's the way to go. Learn the foundations first, and then get better as you improve. Okay, so the command lines you used are here, so we're going to take this exact code, and we are going to I think we have the same thing. So these binary files should be identical, which if they are not, then something is going astray. Target SPRV slang, which is not what it's called. It's called, on my version, core shader 1.slang output. I don't think it matters, to be honest, but I will just name it the same thing. .sprv. Oops. That's not how copy and paste works on the command line. Core shader sprv. Yep. Okay. So that should work. We should get some output. And we have this guy here, which is on the source side, so we need to move it to the build. Which is here, and I'll do a copy this time instead of a move, and I'll even delete this, so we 100% know that we have pasted over this guy. Okay, so we saw that visually updated, and now let's have a run. Okay, it worked, right? Okay, so what is the difference here? So me and Ratchet got this to work. Well, Ratchet did. Thank you, Ratchet, by the way. It could be the fact that we had this, right? Let's try and break it so we get the same result again. Because if we don't break it and understand what happened, we don't know. Way better than OpenGL, where shaders would compile on GPU and fall Yeah, 100%. I very much like this. So any projects I should make to improve my C++? Pick something that's relatively in your wheelhouse. So if you want to make games, for example, a good YouTube channel is One Lone Coder. And if you look at his early videos, One Lone Coder's earlier videos, he has a bunch of coding, game programming stuff, right? But he uses the console window, so this thing, right? And you can go through them, take notes. Don't rely on AI to write your code for you, and you should be improving over time if you stay consistent and persistent with what you're doing. That's what I would do. Okay, so let's see, general. Let's add in the image. What did I call this? Image? Images. Right, so maybe this breaks it, right? So we have found a potential culprit, which was... Let's just also do this as well. I just want to make sure that we're actually using the same compiler that I claim to be using when I use this command line. Yep, okay, nothing special there. Okay, now we go back to this. And so yeah, just so the guy in chat knows, I'll just link One Lone Coder open so he can have a look. So if you're not familiar, I would recommend his older videos, honestly. So oldest. So all this type of stuff. Build this FPS shooter thing, right? Especially if you're a beginner. So yeah, just go to oldest, pick his older stuff, because his older stuff's simpler. That's all. And pick a project you're interested in. Maybe you want to build this, build a console, game engine, etc. All this kind of stuff is, you know, I did this one, I've done this one. Literally, this is on my YouTube channel. This exact game. So, you know, I did this as well. Right, let's move on from this music. Okay, so I want to recompile what we did. Okay, we already did that. Let's... Hell yeah. Love this song. Paste. Right, let's see. Did that break everything? No? What? Yes. What is happening? What did you... I wonder what you did... Did I miss something? I do not understand what the heck. Okay, let's move backwards. Can I do this? Yes. Okay, great. Let's move backwards. These are identical. What is the difference here? Maybe something happened and I didn't notice. Because if I don't understand, like, what changed, then... No, it's just white space. Okay. And go back. Right, let's just go backwards and forwards between that. Back. Oh, forward, forward, forward. Why is control... What? Oh, am I pressing control T? No. Okay. So it's telling me that this doesn't work. Right, I'm going to compile this version again. Right, okay. We're going to open these up. Gonna copy this over. Delete this. So we 100% got a new version. Yeah, this is the same time. And we're gonna play that. What? I'm so lost. Maybe I wasn't copying it. Maybe Ratchet was right. Maybe I've been copying over the wrong thing. But you saw... I swear I was doing it right. I swear I was copying. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, the size is different. It's 8 now, and yours is 8. So it's the same file. Alright. Whatever. We'll call that a W. I'm just going to say I was an idiot. I wasn't copying over stuff properly. There's no other explanation in my mind. Oh, you love Jared too? Yeah, he's Javid. Sorry, yeah, he's brilliant. I'm trash at geometry. Really helped me with 2D physics. 100%. Yeah, this helped me out a lot. Yeah, thanks Ratchet for putting in so much work, and everyone else who helped with that particular issue as well. Honestly, you can't see me, but I'm putting up prayer. I'm not going to say told you so, but yeah, you know, yep, I deserve it. We're just going to chalk it up to that and move on. Right, okay. Right, okay. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have caught that without you, so, you know, honestly, appreciate that. Right, next thing to figure out is, yes. When I'm debugging this, why aren't we getting position data and all that kind of stuff? So I'm going to kind of go back to this. So everything's compiling, and that's great, but I don't know. So what I want to see first is, maybe I'll get rid of this magenta color. This is only really meant for debugging. Let's make a nicer color. It's kind of ugly. It's not a big deal, but it's, if we're going to be staring at it all the time, let's at least help our eyes. It's a bit of a sidetrack, but I don't know, sky blue kind of thing. It's a little less. Yeah, yeah, it's not that. I don't know. Is there a way to convert that to the other types? Yeah, we'll go with. We need to normalize these colors. Usually it just has it. Alright, we'll no, that's not going to work. With Mantissa and all that kind of thing are very different. Floats, I don't know. Can you just... yeah, but I want to pick a nice... okay, cool. Sorry, it's just a bit of a sidetrack, but let's throw this in. You'll thank me as I keep debugging this side tangent. Duplicate. Oh, I already had a color. Never mind. So we need 1.f. Alright, okay. So hopefully that just works without any enemies. Got an implicit conversion here, but temporary. Okay, so we have like a blue that's not horrible. We have, right, what I'm doing is moving backwards with the camera. Absolutely nothing here. Okay. Cool. Please add a copy to your bin script. Yes, that definitely needs to happen. I prefer clear back, and apparently it's faster. Oh, okay, interesting. I've been using colors just so I can see, like, sometimes you can render a model that's just black. That, like, something goes wrong and you end up with, like, a fragment shader that's not rendering any colors. And my graphics card driver figures out that it should be black. So then I don't see anything, even though I've got, like, a different error than I would expect. Anyway, let's go to the next thing, which I don't know what it is. We need to open up the shader. Right, okay, so this is able to pass over data very easily. Now my first question is to see, right, that makes a big difference. Right, okay, that's the first thing I need to fix. So I have two positions because that's how you do it in GLSL, but it looks like this needs to be one position, and this needs to be the output variable for it. So, yeah, let's get rid of this, put that there, and remove this. Alright, so that should at least get us closer to something. So I don't mind if I don't... So the next goal is literally just to see if we can get something to be seen. So yeah, let's do what Ratchet said. I think that's the other thing. We need to build a... the problem is we need to not compile the other shaders. I need to edit my CMake to get this to work. Hopefully you're with it. So we have like a lot of automation here that uses a particular type of validator. And for now we don't have everything moved over to slang, so excuse me. I think what I'm going to have to do is just add like a big list, a small list of shaders that actually need to be compiled that way. Otherwise we're going to end up in a situation where we're going to try and compile GLSL as slang, which is not right. So yeah, hopefully let's chill for a minute. Let's just figure this out. Yeah, so we're using a recursive, which we don't want to use at the moment. We want to just add these ourselves with set, so we don't end up making this mistake again. I hope we don't have to debug too much, but we might have to... Nope, don't use a comma. This is literally just going to be one file for now. It's core shader 1 dot slang. So that's our actual shader. Then this needs to be different. I'm going to comment this out for now because we can take inspiration from it. Oh, I forgot you can't do that. You can't do Control K, Control C. You have to do that for some reason when you're editing CMake. So take this and we're going to have a very simple slang C, right? Slang C, oops. Slang C. Okay, next is to grab this, which we've got to edit a bit because this is appending things that we don't need to append anymore. Because it'll be slang.glsl, which is not, I don't really care anymore. So get file component is something we need to remove. Because this gives the stem. We actually don't care about the stem now. We just need to grab that. And that should be the output directory. Plus the... yeah, whatever. Okay, so now we need to compile this with our command line instead. So I'm just going to take this out, comment it. Put this here. And what we're going to do here is... just get this right. So that's the validator. It's probably rename it. I think I will in a minute. Target sprv So this, and then we need the GLSL file, which is not GLSL anyway. Again, I'll rename all this in a minute. Output sprv file, which is there, and then this. So hopefully, once I've renamed this, slang, it's called compiler. I think that's appropriate. Get out of the way. So I might make a couple of mistakes here where I just don't rename a variable or something. Let's keep that highlighted so I can keep that available. And we need, let's call this slang. Yeah, we just need to change this to slang everywhere. Alright, look at that. Right, so that should depend. Now we have dependency with the binary files. Alright, let's regenerate our CMake. Save that. Rebuild. So I might have made a mistake, but fingers crossed. Oh, okay, so it's just fast cleave to black is only for AMD. That's good to know. Now let's see, does it compile? Unfortunately, the error, if we get an error, it's going to be horrendous. It's not going to make any sense. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Let's edit the slang file with anything. It doesn't really have to be anything. I just want to see if this works. That's suspicious. Hang on. Where's this? Am I missing something? It's possible that we're not going in the for loop at all. So let's just set up some messages. So yeah, I had a feeling we're going to be debugging this for minutes, but not too long. I can't imagine it's going to take forever. So this. Then we want to see what this prints out. And slang compiler. The slang file itself. That's PRV. Which is this? Should be a subset. We might actually need this. I might have made a mistake here. But I don't think so. Yeah, that's just the stem, I believe. Anyway. And no, we pen list. Did I have this anywhere? No, I think that's fine. Okay. Let's just rerun this. We're going to move to slang anyway, so this is actually part of game development. This is just debugging for debugging reasons. What happened? Custom debug rules. I didn't see. Oh, hang on. Did I build that? Let's do a rebuild. I can't rebuild this? Oh. Visual Studios is doing something weird then. And checking build system. Alright, let me just check I haven't made a mistake earlier on. Yeah, I think I've missed out something. It's been a while since I've done this, so yeah, just bear with me for a minute. Where's the file? Oh, hang on. I think this is a very simple error. Yeah. Okay, this is a very silly mistake. Yeah. So CMake doesn't tell you when you made a silly mistake like this. I changed this to slang source file further down. Yeah. Okay, so my bad. Slang. It just silently doesn't crash. It silently just doesn't work. So basically, I had a variable that didn't have anything. Right, yeah. And so we just want it in two different places. Yeah, okay, so that hopefully will fix the error. Because it looked like the for loop wasn't even working, so... Ah, there we go, look. Okay, the file didn't work. So we're close, but I'm not quite there. Something went wrong with the last... With this? Okay. That's what the stem... I thought the stem was just getting the... Right, let's put the stem back in. Yep. Alright, let's put this here. Stem. Nope. Yo. There we go. I believe that's correct. Don't know why it's... Let's copy that actually. Did I get that right? Oh, I didn't put the dollar sign. Right, let's try that again. Get file components. Doesn't have GLS, so we have slang now. And hopefully that's it. Let me get something that makes sense. Yes. Okay, so we have slang. Okay, that's no, it's not the end of the world. We just need to change this in our C++ though. But now everything's automated, which will stop us from doing that copy and paste bug again, which, you know, derp. Okay, so next thing I need to do, sorry, I'll catch up with chat in a second, is bring this back in because I realised that I'm not passing this over properly. My apologies for popping the mic. I think, hang on, if I open up the slang, yes, I do have that there. So that does need to exist, even if it doesn't do anything. All right. I posted it in the resources. Oh, about the fast clear. CMake is the worst build system except for all other build systems. You know what? I have to agree with that one. Yeah, it's a poison that we have to put up with. I wish they had named slang something else. I 100% agree. On NeoVim is fast like a jet. Yeah, it's I wonder if you could make... No, you can't. The way I do this on Linux is I literally just have my CMake generate a make file. Yeah. Yeah, it's... I mean, there's so many other build systems. I think there's Ninja and there's like Pre-Make. But they're all just CMake with a different color of paint, you know what I mean? It's like a different coat of paint even. So, you know, you can't escape it. And then if you try and make it, you could just stick to Make if you're only on Linux, but then you have to like build a Visual Studio solution file that needs to be copied and pasted everywhere. Ugh, it's just there's no good outcome here. There's no good outcome here. Right, okay, so let's start tackling why things don't work. Did I air quotes fix what I said I was going to fix? I don't even remember. Ow. Why did you die? Oh, you cannot open file. You cannot open file. Why don't you exist? I thought you could do that. It's okay, a bit more CMake debugging. But I might have made a mistake on the file name. Give me a minute. It might be too short. Nope. Is that correct? How can you not open it and Visual Studios can open it? It's very strange. So I think this is an error from the compiler. The compiler can't open this. Where's the working directory then? Yeah, so I think if you stick to one operating system, it's usually not as bad. But yeah, if you're trying to be cross-platform, then yeah, not good. We had the same problem at work where we had like the worst CMake. Well, it did exactly what it needed to do. It was very complicated though, and I just could not understand what was going on. Well, I could, but I just didn't want to put in the effort. Okay, admittedly I was a bit lazy with that CMake stuff that was written at my job, my previous job. There was so much like stuff. I wasn't in charge of it. I just like ran it. But holy, like another programmer put in so much effort, and it was so complicated. Macros and functions that went on and on and on, all in different files. All that run a Python file to like generate CMake stuff that then start to actually generate the stuff you wanted. Oh my goodness, it was something else. Yeah, Kalia, that is a great setup right there. Yeah, I try and keep my CMake list as simple as possible, but anyway, let's I say that and it doesn't work. It can't be that simple then, can it? So where don't you fail? Where do you fail at? Generating. Wait, what? Give me a minute. I'm just gonna have to puzzle through why this works and the other one doesn't. I'm in a mistake here. Output binary. Slang for our files. Yes. Stem for our slang. Name. Yep. SBRV, which is the output directory, which we set. Yep. Concatenate with stem. And yeah, then I print out that. Which is the... Right, let's get rid of some of these. I know this. I know what that is. I just need to see the error message. I'm kind of curious right now. And I've somehow pressed the insert key, so let's turn that off. Build. So, assets. So that should be correct. That should be... So that... And that definitely exists because it's there. And... You can't open the slang file. So I'm actually interested in what this is, right? Oops. Let me do this again. Bit of debugging. So source. Yeah, let's get the absolute path by with CMake stuff. I feel like we're missing out. Yeah, we can fix this quite simply actually. If I just add a no, I'm just going to be CMake current source directory. And then we can go into the source directory like that, right? Because that gives us the absolute path up to that point. And yes, vendor source. That's how my directory structure works. Okay, so I think that's why everything wasn't working. So reload, yes. So documents git void source shaders. No, I'm just gonna, for paranoia. So we have git void source shaders, then that slang file. Right, okay, so We should now get, hopefully when we build a, yes, okay, brilliant. Now we can actually start working on the shader. Now we have CMake working, which I'm just going to do this as well. Always important. Yep, okay. Generating the file, success. Okay, let's see what we got from changing a couple of things. Moving backwards, nothing here. So it's entirely I'm not entirely sure exactly. Let's just get rid of obvious mistakes that I've been making by sticking with this. And also the music has stopped. Oh, I think we've completely broken the playlist. Cool. And I'm going to hopefully skip forward and still be in the playlist. Yeah. No, I want to get past Anxious Hearts. We just listened to that. Cool. Chilling. Okay. Right. Like I said, let's the blue color makes you nostalgic for your first OpenGL render. I did the same thing. I would show you, but you know I've been talking so much. Let's dive into this. But basically, my first render. If you go on my GitHub and see Wind, there's a screenshot of what that looked like, and that had a blue background too. Okay, so what did they do? So it's entirely possible that this just does not work, but so I'm going to be referring back to the how-to Vulkan tutorial and trying to fix mistakes. So the only thing I really care about, you know what we should do? This is a render dock situation. This is 100% a render dock situation. Because we're getting nothing and I don't know what's happening. We should be having a render dock session right now. Let's just make sure that runs. It probably doesn't because I don't have the spiv. Right, okay, I can get rid of these now. Let's get... Yeah, we need the assets as well. Okay, that's quite handy actually. This will take a second to copy. And we need the DLL afterwards. Wow, 6 years ago, dude. And you're already quite good. Wow. I don't know when I started, but... Actually, I have no idea. See, this is the problem with being inconsistent. Yeah, I don't know if you're still watching. What is it? Sorry, I forgot your name. Let me scroll up. Janice Cherry. You can end up falling behind even though you started earlier. When did I start this? Did I... 7 years ago. Yeah, so... yeah. You know, if I was just a little bit more consistent with stuff. Alright, copy. Alright. Does this work? Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't close it properly. Yeah, sure. NM fun. Mum fun. There we go. So what we're doing right now is we're debugging a problem with my renderer. So we've changed some stuff called shaders that run on the graphics card. And right now, ignore this. This is just for UI. This is separate. But my render is rendering nothing. And so what we're going to do is we've got this program called RenderDoc. And RenderDoc has a way to capture a frame. If you're, hopefully you're familiar with what frame is. You know, like in like FPS, like one frame is like how fast stuff runs. Anyway, so we have one frame. And we're going to open it in this program. And it's going to tell me what's supposed to be there, you know, what's supposed to be rendered. And then after that, we'll be able to debug with this tool what's going wrong. Because right now it's pretty hard to debug this, right? If you think about it, like a lot of things could go wrong that nothing is visible, but you know, render doc, which is this application, tells us more details. So let's give this a shoot, a launch. So what we do is we capture a frame immediately, and then I don't really need much else, so I'm going to close that for now. Let that that will be loaded. Undefined. So I don't know why it says undefined image again, but let's break down the frame. What I'm going to look at is the position. Okay, so we do have some data. There's nothing, just empty here. Okay. So we have a clear, yes, clear, then index draw. And sure. So one of these is not right, but that's fine for now. That might be the duck, actually. I'm just going to kind of scroll through this. So it's all the same. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense because the position is... So what I'm doing now is stepping through each individual command that runs on the graphics card to render something. And rendering just means putting something on the screen, basically, if you don't know anything about graphics. So yeah. Where is my draw extension? No, actually. I didn't even know you had extensions in this tool. That might be useful. Where is my draw extension? Where? Manage extensions. Can I search them on here, or do I have to download them? Right. Okay. So, do I want to do this? Hang on. Let me just before we move on to that, let me try and figure out exactly what's happening. So yeah, nothing is outputted, which is interesting. So we are doing a lot of draw calls, and we are doing the same draw calls, but I don't exactly know what... I don't doubt the shader code is not wrong or anything, but it's... We're using push constances to get data, and I'm not entirely sure if it's like... Sorry, the next thing that we want to be debugging is... Now, we debugged this, right? No, sorry, we've debugged these. We want to debug these. So, for people who don't know, what I believe might be happening is the date... Wait a minute. Where is it? No, this. So the data in here is a pointer, which I won't go too much into detail, but what I think's happening is this data, this pointer which points at data, literally, that's what it does in computers. It literally, it tells it the computer is going at memory address, I don't know, XYZ, whatever. This is the vertice that we need. This position X, position Y, position Z. I believe that this literally has nothing in it. And what I'm going to try... So we don't actually worry about tangents and normals right now because we don't have any lighting. So I'm a bit suspicious that we just don't have anything in. But then again, in render doc, we do have a GL position output. I wonder... hang on. Let's challenge our assumptions again. Now this works, does it make sense to try and figure out... There's the texture coordinates. There's the input color. Sure. Base color? So N fun. You know, anyone else who may be watching who's a bit confused, just shout out in chat and I'll try and explain to my best of my abilities. It helps me think, so it's actually quite useful. Because I have to slow down and think about what I'm doing. You can have a push constant struct. Make it in the parameters in the entry points. Interesting. Right, let's have a look at that then. I'm going to have to... Because that, I think that's what's happening. We've got like a push constants value that's just not able to have anything in it. Let me just think for a minute, because this is the confusing part. This is the thing I don't know about slang at all. Is I want the buffer device address stuff, right, in Vulkan, to be available in slang. The way it was done in this shader was the buffer device address data was here we had a struct, which we have here, which is the vertices, and the other one, the position. And then literally, it's just uniform vertex, vertices, data, you know. So that's where I draw my inspiration. The rest, I don't really know. I mean, we had this here, like this instance variable or whatever. But that was only used to index into a model. Which, you know, I don't think we care about that much. So, okay. Like vs output main constant. Put in your pointer in a constant struct. Slight with put your pointers in a constant struct. Okay. A constant struct. Okay, so constant struct. This, no. Excuse me. In a constant struct. Let me Google this. Slang. So the reason I'm a bit of a noob and I'm kind of going live is because we're moving from one shader language to another. I'm a bit more competent with GLSL, but there is an issue with GLSL that I'm struggling with. So constant struct. So I'm gonna Google push constants. Oops, that's constant. Alright, this is slang, great. Okay, so SBRV experimental sport foot, no. What have we got here? Memory model. By default, the slang compiler SBRV code using GLSL 450 memory model. Sure. The user can opt into the Vulkan memory model. Sure. When using the API. I wonder if we have a conversion. Let me think. We have a... Yes, this. Do we have a easy way to figure out what the differences are? No. I'm almost tempted to reach out to the graphics programmers Discord for a question and answer, but let's think. So the problem is with following that shader from the How to Vulkan, there is other stuff in here that just doesn't work. This, for example. So I'm gonna gonna say that maybe I haven't completed the push constants implementation by just following that 100%. So, where is there really no push constant? It's such a common thing. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not skipping anything. And for those who don't know, a push constant is just a very efficient way to send tiny amounts of data to the GPU. You only have 256 bytes, or 512 in Vulkan 1.4, and that is the way I'm passing up pointers, and pointers are 8 bytes. So if you have 256 bytes, you can have a lot of bytes in there, a lot of pointers, sorry. So we're trying to figure out how to in this shader code use push constancies. I don't exactly know. Again, I could do this in GLSL, but yeah, let's not keep going back to GLSL. Right. I'm just scanning everything slowly for anything push constancy. So these are buffers. Yeah, these would be descriptors, which are ways to pass up large amounts of data instead of small amounts of data. Which I do, but we're not interested. It's no. I was gonna say, because I could do an index draw call. Does it make sense to just try and render a triangle and see if that's working? And just move, not to an index draw call, but to a regular draw call. No, I don't think anything's... Oh, hang on. What's this? Output structure, input structure. No. So output and input structures are unrelated. Alright. Let's see. Let's do a quick Google in the Discord, because there's often quite good resources in here. So push constants. Constants. Is it constants? My brain's slang, right? How do I use push constants with slang? Good question. How do we do that? Did you get an answer? So that's the drawer index, which is quite nice. Sure. Now, did you get an answer, Alec? Use C buffers. Alright, so shader side, if you intend light matrix buffer to be used on the vertex, you need to abide by the push rules. Okay, there's push rules, sure. For BRV shaders, use the following resource set. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Sorry, I just realized. Can I just take a pause? I'm just going to... for the people who are interested, this is our little community if you're interested in joining. It's just a Discord server. I'm just going to post it. So hopefully that should work. If it doesn't work, let me know if you do want to join. So I forgot to do that before the stream. Anyway, so for BRV shaders, use the following sets: vertex shader, sample, storage, followed by shader, buffer. What? What are you talking about? What is this? So if you intend to use this as a push constants. Now, how do I make it into a push constants though? That's the question. Oh. Push constants should be really first uniform buffer. Is this really a push constant? C buffer. Constants buffer? You're using the... you're in the... GP... Oh, am I? Am I in some weird... Yeah, I was kind of confused, actually. Where am I? Oh, okay. Right, okay, so I'm in some weirdness. Did I spell push constants right? I feel like I'm spelling this wrong for some reason. I think that's might to mix up the playlist a bit again. Push constants, no, that's how you spell it. Slang. Ugh. Let me guess, it's not going to come up with anything. Oh, no, wait. Right, okay, so... Oh, this is just the same thing we had before. And yeah, I'm going to change the music for a minute. It's a bit repetitive. I think we've had the same couple of songs. Yeah, let's just read that site. And we should be... randomize, shuffle on. And can I just go to the next song? Oozler, the Swamp Monster's good, but... Yeah, we've heard it like 3 times now. Or I have at least. Okay, so let's read this. System value syntax. Yes, don't want any of this. Okay, so discard has a special thing. Because that breaks the partial derivatives in the fragment shader. Just because of the quad utilization. So you have to have an extension. Yep. Okay, so we have buffers. Alright, I'm just gonna search for Porsche, I think, just to make sure I don't miss it. Oh, hello. I didn't mean to scroll to it, but there we are. By default, a uniform parameter defined in the parameter list of an entry point of the function is translated to a push constant in this BRV if the type... Oh. So that is the push constant itself. Right, okay. Is the ordinary type... Okay, all the uniform parameters defined in the global scope are grouped together and placed in a default constant buffer. Sure. You can place global uniform parameters laid out as push constants by using the VK. So you can make the global uniform laid out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, as... Right, okay, so if I want to use this constants buffer that's, you know, for everything, we then do this, and then it uses standard 430 instead of scalar, but I can imagine we're overriding that default by our argument when we compile our shaders. Okay. What do we need to do? So... I think that also means we need... Whoops. This. Because I have 3 things in my push constants. And that is used in... hang on, give me a second. There is a question now of... I need to treat these like an array, not a pointer. Yeah, I think that's the problem. These are pointers. Assuming that this is correct, We have a pointer to this data, a pointer to this data. If we're just rawly accessing these, this doesn't quite... Assuming that we go off our GLSL implementation, which... Let's get rid of some of these. It's a bit much. Let's go large, git. Source. So I'm just going to bring up my old shader for a minute, because these aren't pointers to just any old data, right? So this is per vertex, and this is per index. These are very different. So if I go to the conversion table, which we had earlier, we can... I assume it's just is... get rid of these. I don't know what they were there for. Keep that. Okay, so we have this open twice. We don't need it twice. And where is it? This is what I'm after. So SV. So yeah, so we need to. We're printing this. Sorry, we're treating this like a pointer, and it should be an array, I think. I'll compile this later, and we'll hopefully either get something rendering or nothing works. And I think nothing's working is because, I think nothing's complained is because we're accessing just, because this is a buffer device address, the actual compiler doesn't have a clue what's going on with this data. It doesn't know anything about it. It just knows that there's some data there that needs to be accessed. And I hope I have that still. I really hope that's not just because that's important. That's per entity in the game, right? I can't just do it per like vertex or whatever. So I really hope that that everything kind of works out. Right, let's build. Oh, is it? Okay. Thank you. Vulkan. So, Ratchet has pointed out that I need to use the Vulkan specific version, which is true in GLSL. GLSL also has a Vulkan specific version. Cool. Thank you for that. Ratchet. Did I type that in wrong? Vulkan vertex ID. I don't want to put this in the push constants, but I have seen that when you use these variables, you have to kind of do some kind of weird stuff, which it's like, hang on. I've just seen this over and over again. When I go to slang, I keep losing where I'm up to on this. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to take a minute to open up the what is it called? How to Vulkan shader. Build, no, external. Where's the sources? External? No. Oh, I'm blanking now. Where's the shader? Oh, it's in assets, yeah. Cool. Right, where? Right, we got like 20 billion different things. So it has like this going on. I'm gonna just steal this idea for our shader. This thing. And not instance index. We want it's kind of like an indice index. Yeah, indice. Indice. Is that how you spell it? Index? Oh, I'll Google it in a minute, maybe. Dyslexia exception, as my friend always used to say when I used to spell something wrong and cause an error. Yeah, okay, so I believe that's gonna hopefully get somewhere close to compiling. Okay. Right. Ah, yes, I do have dyslexia. So if you're wondering why I'm like struggling to read names in chat, then now you know. You might get a funny nickname just because I can't read your name properly. Okay, so I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm kind of nervous. Grey. Oh. What? This might be a render doc situation again. Let's simplify. Let's get the position from the first element only. So that is correct. We should be seeing grey. That's actually sampling over a texture properly. Do you not have GPU AV enabled? Can you explain what that is? I may have, but I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. Moving backwards very aggressively. Nothing here. Okay, interesting. GPU assistant validation. Sorry, assisted validation. No, let's give that a quick Google. What is this? Oh, it will have an invalid buffer device address access. Is that part of Vulkan? Let me Google this as well. This sounds very interesting. Ah, okay. It's off by default. Is it a validation layer thing? Looks like it. Requires 1.1. Have a delicate tool. Expect the resources. And instructions, shaders, run, vacation, put back any error. Okay, okay, interesting. Sure. I assume you can turn this on, not through the thingamajiggy, but actually. So, Vulkan 1.1 requires, okay, descriptor slots. AV requires one descriptor set, which means if the application is set, it's okay. So, sure, I have less than that, 100%. We'll reduce the short fragment. Sure. It is fast enough to use. It won't crash on you. It's accurate, no fault plus. Okay, sure. In Vulkan, is there a validation exception? Is there like a extra validation that we can turn on? That's my question. So when I'm in the intit function, when I'm initializing stuff, we obviously turn on validation layers. Is there a GPU assistant validation layer that can be used? Or do we have to modify the layers? Let's Google this. Let's see what's the thing that I need to turn on. Or is it an extension? What is this? It's part of the validation layers. Oh, I see. It's easy to enable via the VK. It's a setting in the regular validation. Okay, okay. Let's just turn it on in the layer thingamajiggy. All right, let's get on with that. That's a really nice shout. Thank you, Ratchet, once again for helping me out. Because stuff like I would have missed this completely, or I wouldn't have known about it. VK config GUI. What? Oh, okay. Let's turn off render dock. No, we don't want to capture anything. We can't see anything. Validation layers. Right, so this is called a assisted validation on the GPU. Right. I just hope we don't get 1,000 issues here, right? So, right, okay, there layer stuff that's not relevant. So I'm assuming it's in here, yeah. Yep, there it is. Both core validation and GPU assisted validation are enabled. This is going to require a lot more CPU resources, causing Vulkan applications to run very slowly. Yep. Okay, that's good to know at least. So when I've got to remember this is on. Otherwise, I'll be like, why is my game running so slow? I mean, there'll be other reasons, but you know, we don't want that to be the one. Right, let's open up. And instantly we get a validation error. Warning, create instance GPU. Oh, normal core check are enabled. This is not recommended. Once all the... Please disable. Fine. Okay, so it looks like we turn off core. This is a strange thing. So we turn off core when everything works. And then we can do the GPU validation stuff. Okay. That's the workflow. Okay. Why do I error out in warnings? Just to catch stuff like that. No real reason. Okay, now it's crying. Alright, yeah, I think I think I'm just gonna have to skip. Yeah, because this is we have half the validations on and off, and it's causing all sorts of issues. So let's get rid of the error. How do I turn this off with just warning? So we're going to ignore warning. No. How do I want to do this in a way that makes sense? Because yeah, I can just turn this off, but let's just build an extra if statement that if these are ANDed together and it's equal to the same thing. So if and so we need to make sure that this is not equal to severity warning. And if that's the case, then we won't run the break debugger. We'll just display them. In theory, that should work, right? So we and the severity together, and then we just make sure it's equal. So it's not. Because it's possible that we have these ands work, but message severity has something else in it as well, like performance or whatever. Did I get anything? Warning. Oh, hang on, we didn't, we need to go back to what we were doing before, didn't we? Don't know why that's not... Yes, hang on. So, index... And... Let's give that a run. We have... a lot of data all of a sudden. We're out of bounds. That would make sense. We've got junk data. Draws 74. Might be worth capturing that, maybe. Internal ID. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ratchet. This is, I wonder if that was what was what was wrong last time. Like, I've done all this move to slang effort, and it was actually just me accessing stuff out of bounds. That was actually the issue, and I just needed to turn on this. There's one way to check that, but let's let's keep going, because I'm really interested to see if we can get this solved. So the question is, if I just send up... So which one is out of range? So it's the index, right? So the buffer versus the index. Okay, hang on. So if we have a buffer of elements... So when we create this buffer, wherever we create it, so we have entities, and that has 1,111 ducks. Well, it's just the size. It's just a poorly named variable, and that's the physics. That's the velocity of the physics. That's the broad phase. We create the buffer with the size of the array, which let's just peek. Okay, so that's 1,111. So I'm just going to go through this slowly because we want to make sure that when we do this properly, we are actually indexing into this properly with a push constants. Okay. Next is to... So we have a buffer that should be now... So that should be our... What is it called? Our buffer device address data. That's our buffer device address data for our position. For our model's positions. And the index that we update with is... here. So... For each... What is it called? For each one of these, which is just the ith element, every time we... Because this is indexing through a entity which has the same number as the draw docs, right? So the entities don't store their own data. They just kind of like... They have the same array, effectively, with the same size. So that has in here... The ith element, yeah, we have... I should put this to 0, right? I don't really care about this for a minute. I just want to simplify things down, right? So, whoa. So let's comment this out for a minute, and that shouldn't change anything. That's just updating the position based on the collision detection stuff, which I'm gonna leave alone for a minute. The reason I'm doing that is just to make sure that every single element has data and it's coming from the same place, so we can actually debug this a little bit easier. And what's next? So we do have persistent mapping for our buffer address, but we don't do anything with it. And because of that, I can probably just remove it. No, I don't want to remove it. That's actually... if it doesn't work with it at all, then... so what I'm going to do is... If this breaks on the same element, I want to print out each element in this. So, current entity index. So there should be... Hang on. How many of these are there? Hang on. Maybe that should be like this. They should be mapped 1-to-1, but if we're getting an out of bounds error, I'm just wondering if we're kind of like... This should be the same size as the drawer entities, which is the buffer they're actually looping through. So we should have the same amount of entities. They're there, they're the same. So the actual push constants that we're actually sending up... Excuse me, so the actual push constant index value that comes from the entity should be the index of the loop. Yeah. Right. I'm going to do that. That could be a fix. We could just end up having some bad data in there, so I'm just kind of curious. I'm the first person on the planet, yeah, to change shader language because of a, yeah, an OOB memory access issue. Well, you know, this is all education. We are better than we were yesterday, and that's all that matters for me, honestly. I want to try and be as good as I can as a programmer, so, yeah. 75, it is a bit small. Hang on, let's take a step back and remember in our original shader that we had, that's GLSL, this all worked when we removed color. Now the question is, because you know now we have invalid buffer address accessing, does this now change / get better or worse? What is the difference, right? So yeah, I'm just going to check that this... Okay, so these two buffers are the same now. And let's have a look. Kind of... If I get a compilation error, it'll be easy to fix. No. 95. Interesting, that's changed. So we always have had an out-of-bounds access. Interesting. So it's possible that... Right, I'm going to check something because I really am interested to see if this has been the issue the whole time. So hopefully you can bear with me while I change back to our compiled GLSL code. Just to see what the difference is. Did we have an out of bounds error here as well that just didn't manifest itself, you know? I just want to see. So yeah, we haven't changed them at all. Let's just call this 1 and 2 for a minute. 1, 1, because this won't be this will be temporary. Now, hang on. I've also got to check the. Ugh, we're gonna have the same like copy and paste issue now, as we had earlier, but that's fine. Let's just do it once. I just pray that the shaders are the same. Hang on, core shader vertex. Is color okay? Color's commented out, so everything's the same. I think. Let's see. No. Interesting. Interesting. So we're only getting a buffer out of bounds thing in the GLSL code. Hi, man. Hi. Pujith. You're doing great, well done. Okay, so this, unfortunately, is not a fix. All I've done is move back to the GLSL shaders. So, unfortunately, that's not a victory. That is just telling me that we are getting an out-of-bounds memory read write access, read access even. It's definitely read. Only in the slang thing. And that has nothing to do with... I am super curious, though. I almost want to see... Right, can you guys bear with me while I just change the... Go back to the GLSL code briefly. Because I want to change something in the GLSL code. I just want to see if it ever was an out-of-bounds memory read. So yeah, just hold on while I just comment out stuff and bring back the GLSL code for a minute. And so it might be some kind of rule that I'm not following. Oops. Huh? So I just want to... The reason I did that is so I can... Oh. We have no shaders. Where are... Oh, hang on. I called it slang, didn't I? Let's just rename... rename these. And I think that's everything. Oh, and this. Just remind me to do that if I forget. I don't know what to call it. Say... your slang file or something, I don't know. What are you complaining about? What changed here? Vulkan 1.3. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is just add in the color variable again and just see if it's an out of bounds read based on that, okay? That's all I'm going to do is just... Because this... Okay. Do we get an out of bounds read, effectively, at this point, when I do this? Because everything breaks when you add the color in, no matter what. Like, I can set the value, I don't have to set the value. Now we have that piece of debugging checking for us. No. So, we don't have that error. So, you're probably familiar with this. But let's go back to slang, because we're trying to move away from this particular error because of slang, but... So this just isolates this issue to be this OOB, out of bounds read or whatever, to be slang specific. Basically, that's all I needed to check. So it is slang specific right now. I feel like I've learnt a lot today. It's been quite illuminating. And I'll probably work on this off stream as well, like I have been today. Earlier. So let's bring this back in. Now I've got to remember to change this from GLSL to slang again. If anyone had the idea of reminding me, thank you. Because this is definitely something I'd forget. Just forget to... do this and this and okay, anything else? Nope. All right. Rebuild. Okay. Nice. And we should get the same error again. Okay, no, it's picking up the wrong shader. Ignore that. That's my bad. Let's just see, has this got the colour in? I'll put the colour in. Right, okay, so get rid, whoops, not both. Get rid of this, get rid of the one. I never understood. Sorry, massive side tangent. I never understood why this guy never got like like loads of subscribers. This guy's been making for videos for like... I was like a mega fan back when I first had my first ever YouTube channel. I commented on all his vids. But yeah, he's just relatively unknown guy that just made a classical guitar Sega music basically. Anyway, right, let's build. We should get the error again. Okay, back to Errorland. Oh, this is a different error because I probably made a mistake somewhere else. That oh, that's not even SPRV. Right. Okay, there we go. What? Okay, now it's really confusing. Index is there. What? We have the shader here. Let's do that again. No. Again? I don't know if it... I'm just rerunning it multiple times just to see if it... That's Jolt. That's the physics engine. We haven't fixed that yet. Nope. What? We render... We don't have the error now. And I don't know why. Let's see. So that we... It's possible the color and... Yeah, there's a mismatch between these two. So let's yeah, let's run that and see what the error looks like. Nope, still not anything. We're definitely using the correct shader, right? Huh. No, nothing here. And... Nope, nothing. Now I'm really confused because this didn't work before. Have I turned this off? Sorry, I'm kind of going a bit nuts, but... Let's just check the... So we have the warning for the... both GPU and core are on. Warning, the validation settings. Whatever. Nope. I don't know why it's now not causing an error. I haven't changed anything. But I also don't know why it's not rendering anything now. This is definitely... Oh, hang on. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're not recompiling the shaders. Did I make a mistake here and it's not compiling? Let's rebuild. No, it did generate. And we are getting this particular shader. Core shader. Yeah, I've just got to do sanity checks. You know what? Sanity check. We've got to do it. Yeah, okay, it is compiling the shader. Always recommended to do that every now and again. And the shader is called... That's the shader's name. Okay. That makes sense, my guy. Sorry, I made a mistake with the shader name. So that was that. It should get the same error. Okay, we're back to Errorland. Okay. I think I'm going to have to build push constances that aren't the way they are at the moment, because I don't exactly know what's going on with these particular guys. 91. I'm just curious if I make this a 256 just to be. No, it's okay. It's not the push constants running out of space. Let's see. We have an index. But draw call thingy. I wish I knew what the index value was. Sorry, I'm just trying to think through this particular issue with like randomly draw calls not working. Yeah, I think if I get a push constant slang, it's near the bottom. Oh no, it's right there. Uniform. So do I set them as uniform? That's the first question. Uniform, uniform. Okay, so that's the parameter list. Do I need to do anything in the middle? Because I feel like setting up the buffer device address and slang just seems a bit basic. Like, how do I know this is actual buffer device address? These are descriptor sets. Sorry, these are uniform buffers. But nowhere in the actual slang code do I even set... I don't say this is the SSBO's, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of curious now, like, maybe a buffer device address slang. Google search is worth looking at. Let's go to Reddit. I'm kind of sick of GLSL, looking forward to something new. Hi JTag. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for rejoining the stream. So the buffer device address is just a uint64 that you put in your push constants. That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm currently moving to slang instead of GLSL, and I don't exactly know if I've set... my suspicion is I haven't set up the buffer device addresses in the actual slang source code properly. So we are getting a buffer what is it called? I'm starting to go blank, honestly. My brain's falling out my brain. Out of bounds access, there we go. So read when we come to accessing our buffer device address data. Same, I'm using slang. Can I just use your brain for 5 seconds then, GTAG, if that's okay? When you're setting up a buffer device address, not the actual pointers themselves, but the actual where the buffer actually, where actually the little data needs to go, do you know if do you know if I'm doing this right? You'd have to look at my whole source code in my shader, but how do you set it up? Is there a special piece of syntax that you do? Do you do this for I don't exactly know how to say this is a buffer device address. like with GLSL. For example, in GLSL we can... if I had a shader that was immediately accessible. Might be a bit of a big ask, that, to be honest. Because all I'm doing here is to say the buffer device address is this. And I don't know if anything's even working, really. Yeah, if not, I'll just no problem. Don't worry if you don't have to help me at all. I'm getting a bit tired, admittedly, so. No, in the shader, it's actually... Oh, okay. You don't have to tell it that it is a buffer device address in the shader. You might need to untype the pointers. Untype pointer extension. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I don't think I've turned on the buffer device address in the actual compiler. That might be why we're getting some weirdness. Wonder what it is, if that exists. Debugging, nope. Let's see. Force GLSL scalar. Right, so, oh, okay. On-type pointers. What does that do? Okay, so that's part of Vulkan, because that's KHR, right? So on-type pointers... I don't know what on-type pointers are, to be honest. Oh, I love my chat, man. It's so good that you get to teach me stuff that, I honestly feel like I'm not the worst programmer, but I'm just so glad that I attract like a high quality amount of people. And for those who are just watching, is just chilling with me as well. I appreciate you guys too. It's not just I'm just appreciating the fact that we have like very talented people that come in. Right. Okay, I'm not reading. Okay, yep. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's getting a bit late for me. I'm gonna say for this stream I've had so much fun that I want to keep going, but I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna end it here, guys. Usually it's a bit late anyway. I very much appreciate anyone who's joined. JTag, thank you very much for joining. Just before, I'm going to repost the link to my Discord if you want to join. Yeah, anyone who's watching, thank you for joining. And again, very much thank you for Ratchet for helping me out so much throughout the stream. So I will see you hopefully soon, and have a good rest of the day or night, wherever you're up to, guys. All right. Bye, guys.